I think it's really important that we speak the language of the working class. We don't need fancy terminology to explain the struggles of the people that we live next to, and I think it's important that we are naming the culprits for their misery and their suffering. That means highlighting, it's energy giants that are making millions of pounds, recording record profits while your bills are going up and you're struggling at the end of the month. It's landlords that are cashing in while families are being priced out and evicted. It's bankers who are bailed out, and the fact that no one went to jail for the 2008 financial crisis is baffling and unacceptable while our communities pay the price. I think we have to name the culprit, people suffering, because otherwise they will be blaming any minority group that's been scapegoated by the establishment. And I think we have to tell the truth and out-organise them. The far right are so well organised. Even the Tommy Robinson demonstration, it wasn't just using social media and having 150,000 people. They live streamed the event and they put it on Spotify so their followers could listen to it afterwards. So using technology to also spread their messaging. We have to out-organise them. We don't have the money the far right has from America and other places, but we have people. And we are always going to be a movement that defeats fascism, and I think we have to out-organise them and tell the truth and communicate in a language that is accessible. I firmly believe in the fact that unless you are speaking to ordinary people, it doesn't matter how revolutionary you think you are, you're not, unless people can understand what you're talking about and you're trying to make their lives better. That's what we're interested in. On unions, thank you, agree with that, disaffiliating. I also disagree with the block vote and support one member, one vote. And I think we have a massive job to do within our trade unions. I think some of the silence that we've seen from our biggest trade unions, left trade unions on Palestine, as well as reform, has been disgusting. And I think we have to be pressurising trade union leadership, whether that means running for executive positions, whether that means organising. I just think we have to do a lot more because it's unacceptable. What we've seen in Italy, where workers through 2 general strikes brought the country to a standstill to stop arms from being loaded to Israel, shows what workers can do. It wasn't even the biggest trade unions. In fact, they were trying to stop it. It was small unions that forced the larger confederations to get their shit together. And I think we have to take inspiration. Obviously, we've got very restrictive trade union legislation, some of the worst in Europe, but that can't stop us from organising when it comes to genocide, when it comes to the rise of the far right. And if Reform are polling 33% in the country, they're polling 33% within trade unions. And what are unions doing about that? I think that's the question that we have to ask. Young people, thank you for that question. I was politicised by the attacks on my generation. I saw politicians who had gone to university for free, who got grants, who were able to graduate, get good jobs, afford a house, get a good pension, take away all of those things from my generation and future generations. And it was the tripling of tuition fees that politicised me, as well as going on a visit to the occupied West Bank. So I was 18 and I went on a Labour to Palestine delegation, and I never saw myself as privileged. I grew up in inner city Birmingham, and people profiled me because of the school that I went to and by the street that I grew up in. But my passport gave me so much privilege in the occupied West Bank. I could go through checkpoints. Israeli soldiers tried to, have banter with me, and it was all because I wasn't a Palestinian. I saw children being trialled in military court. And I went to Hebron and saw settlers harass, intimidate, terrorise Palestinians in Hebron. I saw Jewish-only roads, and apartheid wasn't this thing that we just read about in school. It was something I saw with my own eyes. And when I came back, it was during my Freshers Week, so when I came back, I joined societies on my campus and threw myself into political activism around free education, because higher education is a public good. Education is a public good and should be marketised. You shouldn't have tuition fees. We should scrap all debt that young people have. All of these things were things that I feel very passionate about. But I found organisations like the National Union of Students and then Young Labour under Jeremy Corbyn became a space where young people could organise, because for once it felt like The Labour Party didn't hate young people and it wasn't going to throw immigrants under the bus. How things have changed. And so we have to build those spaces because they don't exist. The National Union of Students that I organised in doesn't exist anymore. It's a shell of the organisation it was. The Labour Party is definitely not a vehicle for social change, in my opinion. And so how can we build those spaces for young people? They're already organising. They're organising on the climate. They organise around Black Lives Matter. They're organising around Palestine. They are organising. We need to build spaces for them to organise for electoral change, for socialism. And that means, like I said in my speech, not tokenism. I'm sick of young people or any group, whether it's women, whether it's people of colour, being treated like tokens. I will never be treated like a token, and I will never allow anyone else to be treated like a tokenistic person either. And so our spaces have to be resourced, they have to be structured properly, and people need to be able to organise and be treated as equals and know that their voice matters and that they will be given the space to organise, campaign and build power.